computer. And just on my end, I don't have a particular theme for today's conversation or meditation. I just finished meditating. I could employ that method if you'd like. I'm going to mute everyone briefly. Um, but if you have any sort of thing you want to focus on for this meditation, you're welcome to put it either in the comments or you can unmute yourself because you are able to unmute yourself and just say what you would like to sort of work on through this meditation. See, there's a difference between intention and expectation. Intention is the thing that you want to have sort of a through line for your meditation, sort of like banner of this would be nice to have happen. And expectation in the world of meditation tends to be more black and white of if I'm not more calm by the end of this meditation, I failed or it was a bad meditation. Um, or expectation can mean comparing yourself to other people or judging this performance based on previous performances. And so intention is something that we can invite into a meditation and then allow it to just be and are free to let it go during the meditation, just trusting that it will be there. So with that being said, does anybody have any intentions that they would like to share? Either in the comments or via your mic.
I want to start a new life with this moving and everything, and I want to find a job, but it's very difficult without a social security number. But I hope this moving and everything and change of environment will make it happen. Hopefully, I have a lot to do, but yeah, I'm positive about it.
Okay, we'll invite some of that. Does anyone else have anything? I see Marcus says something that helps me focus on positive energy. Okay. All right. So I think we'll take that for what it is. And you just get started by putting yourself in a nice, comfortable, seated or lying position. Having the head above the shoulders, above the hips, if you're seated or lying down. And checking into this self with the eyes closed to see if there's anything that we want to individually bring to this meditation today. What is my intention? Is it in line with Lori's intention or Marcus's? Is it simply just a practice? Is it something that only you can know? And whatever this intention is, as we take in a deep breath in, the biggest breath you've taken today, in through the nose, letting that intention drop in down to the belly, and exhaling from the bottom of the spine all the way up and out through the mouth on an exhale. Breathing in through the nose, that intention. Breathing out anything that does not serve that intention in this moment. Breathing in, inviting. Breathing out, peacefully letting go. And today we will start this meditation by savoring, which is sort of heralding back to mindfulness. So, with the eyes closed, in this posture that is hopefully comfortable for you for the next 20 minutes or so, I'd like you to explore this body as if you've never had it before, as if you've never owned a body before. Noticing all the crevices and smooth and wrinkled parts of this body, are all the hard and bumpy parts or the steady and fluid parts, whether it's skin deep or much deeper. Find a part of this body that just feels good today. Maybe you're a little looser in your shoulders than you usually are. Or maybe you feel an ease at the corners of your lips because you've been smiling a lot today. Maybe your breath feels free in your lungs. Perhaps you can even feel your diaphragm working in order, bringing the breath in and letting it release through the body. It can even be as silly as your pinky toe or the tip of your nose or your ear. Wherever this place is, inviting a non judgmental, curious attitude of awareness. Just holding this area gently and just discovering what it feels like to feel good, to feel energized or to feel relaxed, or whatever this goodness feels like to you in this part of the body. Is it a greedy goodness? Is it a part of the body that wants to have more of these positive feelings? Or is this part of the body satisfied? Is it happy where it is, happy with the goodness that it has? And as we hold this part of the body in our awareness, are we able to deepen our breath ever so subtly and ever so gently so that maybe our ribs expand a little bit more? And that as we exhale, maybe there's a touch of sound. And can we deepen the breath a little bit more with every passing breath in and out? And can we bring our attention back as we continue to breathe in this way to this positive area in the body that we have chosen? Are you able to send the breath directly to your shoulder, directly to your ear, directly to your middle back, wherever you've chosen? And we're breathing at our own pace, as deep as feels good. Again, just sending that prana, that life force energy to the area that we've chosen. All right. And as we continue to breathe in this way, like you to imagine this part of the body as a color. So, what does this version of goodness, these positive feelings in this part of the body, what color might it be? Mine is very obviously green. Green is what good feels good to me in this moment. Green might be sort of a tangerine orange or a bright yellow or a deep set purple or a sparkling blue, maybe even black or white. You know, there's no cultural judgments on this. It's simply what feels good right now. And maybe no color comes to mind, and that's fine. But as we continue to breathe in and breathe out, I'd like you to send this color out from this part of the body. And so what we're doing is we're increasing the positive feelings that we have in one area of the body and seeing if it's possible, even just a little, to allow that warm, positive feeling to extend to further parts of the body. Breathing in, bringing awareness to what feels good. Breathing out, increasing and spreading out this positive feeling throughout the body. Amazing. And as we step back and look at our body thus far, just noticing if anything has changed or shifted, if there is aversion to negative feelings or thoughts, or craving of further positive feelings to continue, or if we're able to see our body and our mind exactly as it is, exactly as it comes. And now shifting the focus to the mind's eye. This part of the meditation will be focusing on contentness and novelty or newness, which is, I think, something that we all need to work on or would like to work on and might help Sir Lori and Sir Marcus, or Miss Lori and Miss Marcus. I switched pronouns for a second. So, still with the eyes closed, still in the same posture, not changing anything. I'd like you to bring your attention to the nostrils, specifically the area right beneath the nostrils. So the area between the top lip and the nostrils, that field of skin that you have the pleasure of noticing and observing. And before we were doing a lot of deep, purposeful breathing, and this time, the rest of the meditation, we're just going to let the breath be as it presents itself. So if it is tight, let it be so. If the breath is slow moving, let it be so. If it's rapid, that is also fine. Just allowing whatever's here to feel welcome. But as we continue to focus on the breath in this particular area of the body, I just want you to contemplate if this is enough for you, regardless of whatever is happening before or after this meditation. Is it enough for you in this moment to be sitting here and feeling the air pass to and from this body, in and out? Is it enough for you to have a single point of focus? One thing in this mind, in this moment? And before we get carried away worrying about the future and how it will turn out, whether it's near or far, or reminiscing in the past and trying to solve those problems, can we simplify this even further and deal with the one thing that is currently here, which is this breath, this inhale, this exhale? Before we conquer the world, before we radicalize our lives and change everything, can we give our absolute care and attention to this one patch of skin as air travels in and out, passing over this patch and passing over out? And are we able to notice the various things that occur in this area? Are we able to notice that the temperature rises in the air as it comes out of our mouth, or out of our nose rather? Are we able to notice that the air is cool as it comes in? Are we able to notice moment to moment if this patch of skin feels dry or moistened, or perhaps a bit itchy? What discoveries are you able to make with this one usually normal part of the body? I'll be here to guide you back when your attention is lost, but I'm going to let you just discover that for yourself for a moment. Step one is the breath. If you find that you're getting overwhelmed by thoughts already or emotions, and you're wondering, where do I return back to, or where do I go? The first step is the breath. Step two is the breath. And step three is the breath. Knowing that every inhale and every exhale and every pause in between is completely new and has never been experienced before in this moment. if you're asking yourself in your mind how you're going to handle or face these challenges after this meditation, or how you're going to get certain things done or avoid pain and misery in the future, this is how. This breath, bringing the attention back with love, kindness, and diligent attention. The work you're doing right now is what matters. The work you're doing right now is what will prepare you for the moment you get off of this cushion, the moment you get off of this couch or bed or chair. So, as a gesture of kindness to yourself, don't abandon this moment. Don't abandon the area between your nostrils and your top lip. Don't abandon the breath that has been with you since you have come into this world and has carried you all the way up until this point. As we bring this meditation to a close, I will allow about a minute worth of just empty pause for us to process and sit with the past 20 minutes or so before we begin our discussion. So in your own time, unraveling yourself and reconvening in about a minute. And if you are listening to this meditation on Insight Timer or YouTube, this is the end of this meditation. Thank you so much for coming and joining us. And I hope to deliver more meditations to you soon. Namaste. Okay, so either with your microphone or in the chat, I would love to hear how that experience was for you and what you learned. Or
For
even,
me, I was missing this a lot since I have been with a lot of stress, and for me it was very very calm and very nice. Sometimes It was a little bit difficult to focus because I have a lot of things in my mind, but it was very relaxing. Thank you so much.
Of course. Thank you, Lori. I'm proud of you for coming here and taking care of yourself. And I can tell there's just something special and a very unique sort of energy when you're doing something um, as an active thing to take care of yourself. And I could sense that with you. So I'm very proud of you for showing up. And I do hope to see you next week. Um,
Absolutely. Thank you so much. That's very kind words. I appreciate it.
He says it was difficult but rewarding, difficult to stay focused, but worth the powerful feeling of being focused. Yes, I completely hear you. Um, that's something that I've been preaching to the choir from day one, is that meditation isn't 40 minutes of no thought. It's constantly bringing the attention back to your awareness. And if you can do that, 10 times or 11 times or even just 5 times within 20 minutes, you are meditating and you are progressing in terms of your focus and your daily practice. Kenzie says, I got in a very, very deep state with this one. The deep breaths help me get into the zone, wherever that is. Right. The twilight zone. That's amazing. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, I'm still sort of trying to figure out. The breath is just very fun to play with for me, because it's very telling of how I'm holding physical tension in my body, because I just meditated for 40 minutes before this, and of course my breath is very free and very fluid. But if I have a long day at work or halfway through work, I might feel very stuck and constricted. So I think it's a good metric to know that your breath carried you to the state. Adrian says, I felt very calm despite the hectic life I'm loving right now. She probably meant living, but if you love it, that's good too. Yes, that's great. And something to invite is, yes, living alone. Something to invite is, are you able to feel very calm with the hectic life that you're living right now, or with the very busy, possibly stressful life? Are those two able to coexist? I think that, especially in the West, we have this sort of dichotomy of you're either being a bum and not contributing to anything, or you're being lazy by relaxing and taking care of yourself, or you're hard at work, 13,000 hours a week, pounding the pavement, and that there's no room to take care of yourself. And I think it's somewhere in between is where we hope to be, where we can produce things and work hard for ourselves, for our future, for our families and humanity and the world as a whole, but also able to take care of ourselves so that we can be kinder to other people and let that show through our work that we do. So I just encourage you to keep exploring that. I'm glad to hear that. Does anybody have anything else?
Yeah, I've been putting off meditation all week. Like I even set reminders and I haven't done a single thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I noticed it was a little tough today,
Yeah.
like a little out of practice.
Yeah.
And especially this one with my child kept meowing to get my attention. So
Yeah.
I just had to like kind of block that out. And I was starting to get into it. Like last 5 minutes is when I was starting to really ease into it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to continue to meditate after this just so I think I'm almost in the zone, you know?
Zone. Yeah. That's the new name of our meditation, the zone. Yeah, that's great. If anything, if you go a week or 2 weeks without meditating, you sit down for 30 minutes, you're like, oh, this is hard because I haven't touched it in a while. And it just reinstates that it is a practice and it's something that you have to maintain. It's a hygiene sort of mental health. So That's great. I want to hear about your meditative experience after this as well. Or after you. So, Coach Roxy, my grandmother, says, your meditation always relaxes me. I also have a lot of things going on. I'm able to get to a relaxing place mentally faster now. Okay, progress. I like after not being able to sit for years this long. I really have to force myself to focus. Hmm. Well, I mean, yes, I see the progression for sure. And there is like sort of a threshold when it comes to meditation. It like let's say, God forbid, I didn't meditate for the next year. And then after that year, if I sit down for 30 minutes, it's going to be hard, but it's not going to be nearly as hard as when I started over. I'm sorry, it's not going to be nearly as hard as like before I even began meditating in my life. There is, I forget the exact name of this, but there's some like threshold theory in psychology that whatever you practice, good or bad habits, that when you start it, you're at zero, and then you get to sort of this level of being proficient at it. And whenever you stop doing it, you really only go down to half capacity. So like even things that you forget or don't practice enough, they're still there and they're still carrying you. Um, that being said, I think my grandmother is sort of finding that threshold capacity now. Now that she's meditated a number of times with me, I can't even count this many at this point. I think that she's sort of starting to find that because regardless of everything, you are all steps ahead of where you were before you began meditating, period, in your life. All the challenges and all the different things that have occurred have sort of even slightly been colored by the fact of you carrying this practice with you, have been affected by the clarity of mind that you've gotten through meditating, or the peace or calm that you were able to find just for a moment. And that's beautiful. It's gorgeous. And I think it's just speaks to the usefulness of the practice as well. Wow. So I think literally everyone has said something, which is great. We love contribution in this community. But if that is all, I will, unless somebody wants to say something, I'm going to plug a few things in the group chat. So my email is canan4580@gmail.com. Right there, if you have any personal questions, want to write a love letter to me, I welcome it. And by the way, I have never, I think once or twice, I've received an email from somebody who's taken this. So if you truly have something that you want to talk about, please feel free to reach out. I'm definitely looking for responses for that. This is my Instagram, if you want to follow me there, at Canan Bracey. If you feel compelled to donate whatever amount, whether it's $2 or $10,000 or whatever, just for this donation-based practice. Right now, I don't have a fee that I'm charging, which is what I would usually do for in-person sessions. It's really just whatever people feel like contributing, because I want this to be available. I want this to be something that anybody can jump in and do. But at the same time, if you do feel like this was worth something to you and sort of helped you in some way, and you do feel compelled to donate, my Venmo is Canan-Bracey, and my Cash App is Kananan4580 right there. And lastly, if you are not already on my mailing list, please put your email in the chat, because I send out, I think it's supposed to be 2 emails per week, one on Monday, one on Friday, just telling you, any new things that are going on. If I have any new meditations on Insight Timer, which I do, by the way, or, just giving you the link for this, so you don't have to go dig through it and find it. You can just have it right at the top of your email from Canan. And just anything else that I'm providing. If I decide to like launch Patreon or like do something new on my YouTube page or whatever, then I'll be sure to to let you all know about that. So if you want to join that, if you're not already on it, you can put your email in the group chat. Otherwise, I'll be respectable of everyone's time and go ahead and say adieu. I bid you adieu.